So the second activity walks you through an example of how to do this manually. So what you'll end up doing is you'll enable only the VTG string. So if you go to the reference here, this is your VTG string. It's mainly speed type information. So you'll see there's like ground speed and in knots and then in kilometers. So if you go through the examples in here, this is basically shows you how to take that string and break it up yourself and get that into different variables. So you would be able to take a string like this, which has your beginning and then all the various pieces of information, and then it'll show you how to take the string, read out little subsections of it, store those into variables, and then output those individual variables. And then again, there is example code if you get stuck. However, more importantly, is there is a third piece of code in there which uses the GPS library to do the parsing. And that is what I recommend you take a look at, because there's really not much of a need for you to manually parse stuff, except for just to get a basic idea of how it works. Instead, if you look at the GPS parsing introduction, it will have an example of how to use the actual GPS library to parse it. But basically, what happens is once you read in a NEMA sentence, you can then call this GPS parse on that NEMA sentence, and it will populate a whole bunch of internal variables with the values from that NEMA string. So if I get a sentence that has like the hours, minutes, seconds, and I call parse on it, it will fill in these variables, and then I can call GPS.hour and get what that hour is. So if you were to then take a look at the output of this code, you will see that basically every once in a while I'll get the full string, and then it will also print out basically parts of that. For example, the fix, the altitude. Let me turn the auto scroll off here. The number of satellites that it's using, the latitude and longitude. So I would recommend basically taking, if you're planning on using the GPS functionality, and for the sort of final end cap project, look through this code and sort of get an idea how it works. And then if you have questions, feel free to email them or come ready with them for one of the next sessions.